Hello everyone. I'm going to read something and then I'm going to show you a picture. The delinquent can save your life. A moron would assume that just because I have tats, I'm a loser, or a drug user, or a devil worshiper, or I have no morale. I work hard every day and I play just as hard. I pay my taxes, love God, obey the law, and hug my loved ones the same way that you do. The only difference is I don't look down on you because you don't have tattoos. That's what I call stereotyping. I always wondered if Trayvon Martin knew back then what he knows right now. Would he have changed what he had on? Would he have changed the route that he took or did anything different? I'm sure that he didn't think being the victim of another deadly stereotype would end up the way that it did. It doesn't pay to judge a book by its cover. I think us as a whole should stop and take time to get to know people we're passing judgment on. You would be surprised what you would find beneath the surface of most people. So if you don't take anything else from this speech, learn not to believe everything the eye shows you. What are stereotypes? Stereotypes are judgment passed on persons, places, or things without proof because of what we've been told, shown, or maybe seen in the past from similar situations. Not all stereotypes are positive, not all are negative thoughts about something. Just because you're stereotyping doesn't mean it will be negative. Some stereotypes can be completely beneficial. You could see a person and know a school they attended and give them the highest of praise, or see someone on a certain corner and immediately think bad things about them. Not all stereotypes are realistic. Some are unrealistic. Stereotypes can have truth to them, and some can be flat out ridiculous depending on the nature it was given. So let's take a quick recap of what stereotyping is. It's making assumptions without knowing all the facts. Not all stereotypes are bad. Some are indeed good. Some stereotypes are truth and others are not. What are some different types of stereotypes? Race is a huge stereotype. We all know that the color of our skin automatically puts us in a stereotype of some sort. Whether or not we want to believe it doesn't make it not true. Whether it's a good one or a bad one or indifferent, it's a stereotype the same. Some of the professions also is a form of stereotype. What you do in life puts you in a stereotype as well. And not all of them are good and not all of them are bad, but the things we do or choose to do with our lives automatically makes us some type of person in others' eyes. And location could also fall under stereotyping. And I don't know why I even have to speak on this, but we all know location is one of the biggest stereotypes there is. And it is sad because people, places, or things could be a lot different than what we think, whether good or bad. Just the history of an area could label it for life in most cases. So whether you're black, white, Mexican, Japanese, etc., all are some sort of stereotypes. Whether we're military, teachers, butchers, police, preachers, different jobs give different views on who you are as a person. And whether it's Paris, Bahamas, Libya, Detroit, London, Brazil, depending on where it falls, stereotype will happen. So what are some of the effects of stereotyping? Some things will be glorified because of stereotyping. Like I said earlier, based on the nature of the stereotype, it could be totally in your favor. For example, say you were an artist who sold 3 million records in 1 week and people labeled you the greatest of all time. Whether that is a fact or not, you would look very good in the public's eye. Some things will have the worst possible chances because of stereotyping. Trayvon Martin, whether he was good, bad, or in-between kid, how he was viewed on a certain day changed his life forever. Some things will not change your life either ways because of stereotyping. For example, say someone calls you a jerk, and unless you take that to heart, that you may be rude, that's not really going to change anything. You're going to go on living life as if it didn't happen and that person didn't exist. So if you graduated Yale, you may be considered smarter than a normal person, and in return, more doors be open for you than others. Or someone growing up in South Compton may be considered having gang affiliation causing important doors to be closed on them. And someone could be labeled something that they are not by someone who's not important. And if they don't mind, then it won't change nothing about them. So let's have a quick recap of what we talked about today. Today we talked about stereotyping. We talked about some of the types of stereotyping. And last but not least, we talked about some of the effects of stereotyping could have on a person. Not all stereotypes are bad, not all are good. Therefore, we should be very careful to stay away from stereotyping. A lot of things can be avoided that way. So just take the time out and get the facts before deciding to pass judgment or take actions we don't know the full story on. So in my closing, I would like to give the audience a great big thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech, and I hope you really enjoyed it.